What's up, everyone? Today is actually going to be an interesting day because we're going on an adventure. Now, first things first, we are going to be getting rid of this car down at the local fire department, where I've talked to the chief and we're going to be doing all kinds of training exercises on this car. I think that's going to be really fun. They're going to be using the jaws of life, all these other different types of cutting implements to show, to train and show how to do it. It's going to be really awesome. It's going to be a fun day. Unfortunately, this was a buddy of mine's car. He was in it when it was in the accident. It's pretty rough. He's in all right shape. Just I'm kind of hoping we can all pull together. I tried parting out as much as I could to help him get a new car and everything. But for the next week, every t-shirt or any merchandise sold, any profit I get from Teespring will go directly to John, and he'll be able to hopefully put it towards a replacement car. So, anyways, where was I? Oh yeah, so they're going to be cutting this car completely up. It's going to be really neat. I'm really excited about that. The other thing we have to do is we have a person coming to pick up an engine that I have down in the shed. It's for a Toyota, and I don't know what they're using for. Don't really. Maybe we'll talk to him and see what it's all about. But once that's done, we're going out to Nassau, and we're picking up a second 5.3 aluminum block, which probably will eventually go in the Jeep. But for now, we're going to put it inside the frame in here and start mocking up everything we need. Everything from the bell housing, which we'll have to still order, the transmission mounts, the exhaust, all the stuff that you need to make sure that this thing's going to run. But before we start mocking that all up, we have to start taking apart the body, which is kind of hoping it'll start getting warmer. But because we need to get, I'll probably have to order a new one of these, but I might just use the one that we have. She's a little mangled, a little rusted, but she'll be enough to get everything mocked up. We need the fender wells, the fenders, and that firewall inside the garage so we can start mocking up the front end of that car. What else? I think that's pretty much it. It's going to be a really busy day though, so let's go for an adventure. Hopefully, oh yeah, and we had some really nice weather, like 45 degrees, which is not really common for this time of year. And everything melted, all like 9-10 inches of snow, and turned into a sheet of ice. So this is probably gonna hopefully not end poorly, but let's get her going. Oh yeah, and I need to do one thing before we go, so let me do that and we'll be right back. We just sold the 16 valve Toyota engine, which was going into the Celica, but it's actually going to be helping us buy the engine we're going to go pick up today. And I want to just do a little quick plug for those guys. It was really awesome. It was a grandfather and a grandson. They're building a Triumph Spitfire, and I think that's absolutely fantastic. It's really important to take and enjoy the time you have with family members, because it's something you'll cherish for the rest of your life. So I'm very happy that that engine's going to a great home. And as you see, it was a little bit of a fun time. But it was well worth it. So the next step, as I said, we're gonna go pick up that aluminum 5.3 engine so we can start mocking up the frame. And I'm really toying with the idea, when everything's all said and done and we go to restore this thing, because it does need quite a bit of work, we should put that 5.3 into this Jeep. I think that would be freaking awesome. Can you imagine a aluminum 5.3 in this thing? Not horsepowered up, like not like something insane, just kind of 300, 400 horsepower, but mostly focus on the torque aspect of it. So we'll end up using the, because this is just the bare block. And, well, no, I should say it's a short or a long block. So it's a long block, not a bare block. So it's going to come with everything except for the heads and above. So we'll use the truck intake manifold we pulled off of ours for this build, which will be down the road. Or what do you guys think? Should we put it in the Dodge instead? I kind of wanted a bigger engine in the Dodge than the 5.3. I was really hoping to go with the 8.1 Allison, or maybe a Dodge engine. I don't know. It just depends on what we have. Like, I have access to an 8.1 liter. That's why I was planning on putting 8.1 in there. Not because I want to do, you know, cross breeding of manufacturers, but because I'm always on a shoestring budget, because that's how things are. Anyways, I keep saying because of all the wonderful things we do. Anyways, off to get the engine. Before, I need more coffee. My humble abode. All right, that was quite the adventurous day. I actually stopped and I found this old, probably early 50s four-door abandoned car. I stopped at the person's house. It was her husband's car. She wanted nothing to show us. She basically kind of shooed us away. I'm sure she encountered a lot of people asking about it. It would have been a great little segment to the video, but you know, it's one of the really cool things as you're driving around going, as you saw, pretty far away. That was quite the distance to go pick up the block that you guys saw, which is sitting on the ground right there, and I'll explain that just in a second. Now, a quick update on this. We are going to be getting pistons hopefully in the next few weeks for this, and that will be 5 over, so we're going to have the block 5 over, honed, decked, bead blasted, and the crankshaft balanced. Pretty expensive ordeal, so I'm going to do a little shameless plug right here. We do have this episode for the next week. This episode is going to go, any of the merchandise that we sell for the next week is going to go help John get a new car. But we also have the what is it called? Patreon. We have the Patreon, so if you're looking to help support the channel, selfless plug right here. I just spent a lot of money this week, and we are going to have quite a bit of parts, and I'll cover that in just a second. But Yeah, so this just alone is gonna be very expensive. The over here we got this block, which I'm gonna start tearing this down tonight. So in the comment section down below, actually I'll probably hold off. If you guys want to watch me pull this down, comment section down below. If there's enough of you guys that are interested to watch me pull this down again, I really love working with engines, but we are going to save the internals out of this because it is a Gen 4 block. We're going to save the internals out of it, including the 24 reluctor wheel that's in the bottom of it, or crankshaft, and store it for now. And the reason why is because the Gen 4 internals can be used across the board, whether you're running a 6.0, 5.3, you just have to replace the pistons accordingly. These are beautiful pistons. They're actually flat top. So actually, I don't know if these T's are, yeah, okay, they are flat top. So they are flat topped, and I kind of have an idea what I would like to do with it down the road. So we'll store it all. But we're going to sell the oil pan because we don't need this oil pan. And as far as I can tell, I might be able to recover a little bit of the expense of the engine from that. Now, the reason why I went out and got an aluminum LS block was because I want to be able to lift it up, continue like a lot. I'm bringing over here. We're going to set that block, an oil pan, some junk heads on it, and the intake manifold in its place. We're going to use the firewall, like I said earlier. We're going to put the firewall in its place, make sure it's squared out. We'll put the core support in, and we'll start doing all the mock-up for everything that we need to do, put the sides on. So basically, the whole front of the car will be put together, and we'll be able to start working everything that we need, and then we'll be able to like build everything accordingly, whether it's, you know, the engine, transmission, all the gussets. That will be a nice little block right there. I almost bought a steel block, but I know I'm going to end up taking it in and out several times, and I don't want to kill my back lifting those blocks out because they are ungodly heavy, surprisingly heavy. So the 5.3 will be perfect for that. The only other thing is tomorrow we'll start work on the frame. I just had a lot of errands to do, as you saw. We made some money today, immediately went into buying the block, and I really got to say those guys were awesome. I really hope they have good luck building the Triumph Spitfire. I think it's going to be a fantastic family project, and I love family projects. So someday when the twins are old enough, we'll do, you know, all kinds of builds, but for right now they're a little too young for this kind of stuff. So tomorrow we'll start knocking out the slag because I don't want, you know, people to see this horrible stuff inside here and think that I welded it. I mean, oh my god. So we'll go ahead, we'll clean this all up, and as we start putting this all together, the aluminum block will really help us out because I found a pair of headers that I want to buy. I haven't bought them yet. They're front facing, well actually they're rear facing, but because of the way everything works, I think they're rear facing and they go up over the engine. But if I put them forward, they're going to go down below, which is perfect. They're 180 degree headers. They go up, and I want to be able to adjust them as an electrician, especially industrial stuff. I do a lot of pipe bending, so I don't think that's going to be a problem. But we're going to bend the pipe, so instead of it going one direction, they're going to go two different directions, and then we'll be able to put our turbo brackets on here. I don't know why it took me a little while to think about that, but we're going to make sure that we can fit everything inside here. And it was, you know, it wasn't really that expensive for the block, but it's better than trying to guess work, and I don't know how long it's going to take to build this thing, and I don't want to have this thing getting all butchered while I'm trying to build stuff. So we're going to have that as a block that in case something happens, it's not a big deal. And also it's gonna be a lot lighter. So that is the reason why I went and got another block, because sometimes I actually used to have, I got rid of it recently because I don't think I'll ever touch another 7M build ever again. It's going to be either, like, if I ever do another 7M Supra, it's going to be left bone stock. I'm never going to put that much effort into another 7M again. I put thousands and thousands of dollars into that last 7M, and you still don't get the kind of horsepower that I'm looking for. So you put thousands and thousands into this thing, and it's gonna rip your whiplash. It's gonna be crazy. So I hope you guys enjoyed the little day trip of getting parts and pieces. I'm really excited about the the placement engine, so that we can start getting to work on all the little things. We have an intake manifold coming hopefully either next week or the week after. They didn't give me a tracking, so it's just gonna show up one day and I'm like, hot diggity damn, sweet. What else? Oh yeah, we still need to order a belt housing. That's gonna be pretty expensive. So we're right at the point where I can't order any more parts for a while. So until we start getting monetized, which we're close, we have to get another 30,000 hours, or not hours, 30,000 minutes of view time. So share the content. It would help greatly if we can get some more view time, so we can start getting the monetization and I can start buying more parts, because I am tapped. But we have a lot of parts coming. We have control arms coming, bushings coming. It's going to be nuts. It's going to be nuts for the next month. But we still have a lot of parts we need to order. So, and a lot of parts, a lot of machining to be done. And that's all for today. That was really a lot of. I started at 8 o'clock ish, and it's like 6 now, 7, 6 or 7. Really, I started a little earlier than that, but I didn't get on the road until around 8 o'clock. But also lifted way too many engines in one day. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys today. I really hope you enjoyed the little trip. And you know, one of the big things about building your own projects it's really lost on TV is the amount of effort that goes into just securing the stuff you need, whether it's a placeholder block so you can mock things up. You know, it's all well and good. You can go and buy a plastic one for like $1,000, or you can go get an aluminum one that, you know, weighs 100 pounds. So, guys, I mean, I paid more than $100 for it, but we have Gen 4 internals out of this thing. So down the road, I have all the internals. We're not going to get rid of the internals. I was thinking about selling them, but we're probably going to end up doing a lot of LS swapping now, because I'm thoroughly in love with the platform. It's fun. It's phenomenal. It's fantastic. It's phenomenal, and you really can't beat it. I don't care what. Like, even I thought it was nuts doing LS swaps, but you can't beat them. And you know, when the end goal is just to enjoy your product, or your project, you know, you can't beat them. So stop. I know I got a lot of flack lately, and I'm going to go into a quick rant right now. You guys have been phenomenal. I haven't had I had one person that unsubscribed because I was doing an LS swap. But at the end of the day, I'm doing this on a shoestring budget, and these things are fantastic. I've had people on different forums and stuff try to just destroy me because I'm destroying this car. I'm somehow the reason why this car is junk now, is I'm doing an LS swap. But you know, I used to be a purist. You know, that's fine. But that's my vehicles. If I want to be pure about my vehicles, that's what it's all about. It's your vehicle. And at the end of the day, the people that are as toxic as some of the ones I've been encountering, it's one of the reasons why passion in cars is dying. And it's because the people that hot rodded cars back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, you know, some of them have become, well, you can't do that. You're ruining the spirit of the vehicle if you do that. So they were able to do it, but you can't. And one person told me, well, you shouldn't be doing it if you can't afford to do it right. And I'm like, well, I don't have $100,000 to make this car perfect. Well, I put $100,000 into a car and it's perfect. It was just like it was original. Good for you. The car craze, the hobby, the obsession shouldn't be locked behind wealth, period. So if you feel like I do on that, it shouldn't be locked behind millionaires and people that can drop $100,000 on a project. Oh, and the one person that told me that, it comes to find out he scraps cars for parts. And it's like, well, so you'd rather me part out the car than put it back on the road with the wrong engine. Okay, that's kind of hypocritical, but I'm sorry, it's a rant. I just think that we all have to we're all brothers and sisters here in the car phase or fad and obsession. So we all have to be supportive, whether the person's driving a Honda or they're driving a Lamborghini. Which, you know, it's fine to kind of beat up on each other a little bit and kind of joke, but there are some people that are very toxic about it. So anyways, that's my spiel on why I think that some people need to take a hike. But oh, I had something else I needed to say. Oh, you like the hat? I don't know if I said anything about the hat, but thank you, Uncle Tony's Garage, for getting this out to me. I love it. Fantastic. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a pretty hectic day. I'm like scatterbrained right now. It's been so crazy. I ordered food because I just don't have time to make it tonight. But boom, we'll start to work on this tomorrow. Get this thing nice and cleaned up. And this Monday, the engine mounts are coming, so we can start mocking it up. I got to find the old... Oh, they're over there. Okay, I found them. I was going to say I had to find the old mounts, but... So we still need to put these back on. The engine mounts are just going to go on the actual block. But that's all I have for you guys today. Have yourselves a wonderful day. Stay warm out there and keep it shiny side up.